Hello, I don't know if I have sound or not. I'm going to turn the fan off. Be right back in a minute. Hello, I don't know if I have sound on this video. I'm trying to come out a little bit louder than I usually do. I've been drifting off topic. One video I had in the past on this channel was probably the most popular video I had was on Gnostic Satanism. I've studied a little bit into Assyrian Buddhism, a little bit into Kundalini, a little bit into Gnostic Satanism. I put together a good video one time before, not on my personal page because I list videos. I might list this to Facebook, I might not. This is a private video for anybody who watches it and understands card reading, understands magic, understands different energy levels, masculine, feminine, anything to understand with what I work with. I've been drifting off topic. I've been studying a little bit of astrology, a little bit into my Terra Era Mantras manual, which is really, like I said before, it's really a hard book for me to actually get into and decipher. I have been working on writing prayers to the Terra, doing things to the Dharma, and also for the Buddha. But getting back into Gnostic Satanism, where you have a dual system. You have a Yatharbaoth, I'm not how you pronounce him, it might come in wrong. And that's like a false logos. Hebrews know it as Yahweh. Then I come up with a guy who told me about Emmanuel. Let's talk about Emmanuel. He was also known as Yeshua. Christians know him as Christian Jesus. Jesus or Emmanuel or Yeshua, whatever you want to go by his name meant to be the counterpart, or what you might say, the brother of the Godhead, Sophia. Now, where does the invisible God that has no prayers, but yet has no monarchy above him or below him, that is invisible but made everything? That was a Greek word known as monad, M-O-N-O-A-D, monad. I think that's how you pronounce it. And that was one unit. Out of this one unit came a male and feminine energy known as monad and Sophia, also known as the one true God. He wasn't known as Jehovah, he wasn't known as Yahweh, and he wasn't known as Yatharbaoth. That was the false logos that was created by Sophia. Now, to get into the texts of the Shakti and the Siva, that was also Hindu text known, it wasn't Greek, but it was a Hindu text known as that. The Tibets knew it as Terra and Buddha, which were the enlightened ones that knew these things. They were like, they weren't really gods, they were enlightened. One was a princess known as Terra. The Dharma had something to do with like the universe that they knew it in. And the Shagna was also part of this. And the Dharma, the Shagna, and the Terra were to enlighten the beings, to enlighten them to power that, these texts are written down in the Dead Sea Scrolls. You can find it in the Holy Bible. And you can also find most of what you think in general philosophy. They were inspired by Emmanuel, which would be known as Jesus, also known as Yeshua to the Hebrews. Now, why have I been studying up on this? I've been studying for my own personal benefit because if you have a Shakti and a Shiva, which is known in Hindu texts, a male and a male counterpart, they had a twin aeon or a twin uh, pantheos, which was known as the Christian Jesus. They had said that there would come a time when the archons, what are archons? They could be known as demons or they could be known as the devil himself, which is known as Satan, which is the youngest brother of this Yetaboth. It was all a game to play to create a grid. A lot of people don't believe me when they think of this. This Yetaboth had created man. Where did the breath of life come from? It came from Sophia, because that was the matter. And when they say he breathed life into them, they were talking about Lucifer. He breathed the knowledge into them. And where did the knowledge come from? It came from a fruit on a tree, supposedly. But we don't know this. But anyways, as the story goes, they think it was Satan that did this, but it wasn't him. It was probably, a lot claim it was Lilith, the first woman that was created from Sophia and Yetaboth, which was the dust of the ground, as so Adam, the man, was the dust of the ground. The first man and woman were the dust of the ground. Where did Eve come into play? She was there to be subservient to Adam, So Eve came to be subservient to Adam on the fact that to set up the grid, there was a serpent. No one knows if it was Satan, Sophia, or Lilith. There's all these, I don't know if you want to call them conspiracy theories, that are set up to bring death upon mankind. It's all on my post on Facebook. If you want to go to my page or you're even interested, I'm getting views day by day because I reopened it now that I got time to run it. I do list mysticism and magic and numbers and how these all play into part, but some of it's a bunch of crap, but whatever, I'm going to clean it up. Now, to get back on the topic of what this video is about, it's a little bit about Christianity, it's a little bit about Buddhism, and it's a little bit about Hindu texts that maybe there was a twin brother of the Sophia, known as, you can call him Emmanuel, you can call him Jesus, or you can call him Isha, whatever you're comfortable with. But he was a messenger sent to deliver the news from the Monad. The Monad was also known as Jehovah, but Jehovah was a false logos. Monad was the invisible one that had set up the realms. And like I said before, there were 8 realms till you actually get to the 9th. Just like till you get to hell. And reincarnation is a part of this process. There was a certain demon, I don't know his name, that was of desire. And to say yes or to say no to the desire of wanting to go on into an afterlife. There's a light that will invite you in. I think you have to say yes. Maybe you have to say no. But if you say yes to the demon of desire, the light will invite you in for reincarnation time to redo the things you have to do, but nothing changes. You stay the same. That's the trap. To break free from the trap, you say no. And you will go into a darker realm. It'll be black. But then you start seeing what you need to see. Ends will meet. And you will meet those dimensions head on. And yeah, you'll be legally dead. But you will meet these dimensions. How do I know this? Because Manad, or Sophia, had told me what would happen in my life leading up to the day. She told me about how I try to help people and how it backfires on me. But the thing is, it's better to give than it is not to give. Because if you start taking, and you take too much, how was it said about the Blue Terra? If you take too much, you start poisoning yourself. If you give it away and just let it go, a rich man is poisoned by money. A poor man may be poisoned by, alcohol or drugs or whatever. But there are rich men that are poisoned by money and substances. I'm poisoned by tobacco and maybe a cup of coffee. I mean, it could be poison. It's what you do in excess. But in modern day Buddhism and Lucerian Buddhism, which people don't understand Lucerian Buddhism, you have to give back. What you take on a daily basis, you have to rest and let it go. You don't keep taking and taking and taking without giving. That's the key. In modern day life, you can become overdosed on healthy habits as well as non-healthy habits. Say you like to exercise. Well, say you exercise too much and it could affect your body. It could cause arthritis. It could cause health conditions. It could cause cardiovascular. And I'm not talking somebody that smokes, or I'm talking they eat healthy. They don't touch caffeine or nicotine or even alcohol. They drink plenty of water. I've heard of people ODing on water. Actually drinking too much water and actually getting too much in their system and dying. This can happen. As well as it can with caffeine, nicotine, or any other substance. Just like a rich man can OD on money. He can get so much that he really don't know what to do with it. And by the time he's dead, yeah, he's put away and his loved ones get it. But does he get it? No. Do I get a cigar when I die? No, I don't. So it's better to give out to help than it is not to give out or help. My advice is not just for people trying to live a good life, but try to understand. Your body is what you consider a temple. What you put into it, what you take into it, is poison. It could be water. It could become poison. It could be alcohol. It could be nicotine. It could even be healthy eating. Even carcinogens are found in vegetables. You have to balance yourself out. Limit yourself day by day. Cut back on your exercise routines. Because, yeah, you're going to wear yourself out. Get plenty of rest. Mindfulness exercises are just as important as physical exercises. You sit down. Deep breathe. Put yourself in that trance. I don't care if it's a mantra. It don't even have to be a Kundalini mantra. It don't even have to be a Tara tarot mantra. It can be just a simple phrase that you're going to do better every day. You're going to give back to society. Because you take from society, it's going to punish you. That's the way the game is played. Every day we think we're playing cards with this Lothar, a card player, known in Norse texts as the goddess of desire. We play this card game with her every day that we want something. And maybe some of us don't practice that. Maybe we pray to a God that we know or that we don't know, that things go a different way. But it's going to go the way it goes. And the reality of the situation, there are people that stop believing. I haven't. I want to believe. I have doubts in the belief. I talk to a true Christian. I don't really know what he said he was. I think he said he was, trying to think, not Presbyterian, but some kind of Christian. And he sat down and he explained to me these things about Emmanuel, and I know him as Jesus, and some know him as Yeshua. He came to tell us what God wants. And what is God? He's the one that's invisible, created everything out of nothing. That's what the thing is. Where atheists have a hard time believing, saying, where did everything come from? It's not where everything came from. It's your own intelligence. It's to be an enlightened being, to be intelligent enough to know these things. If you don't know them, and you start broadcasting a bunch of shit, say like Aaron Raw, or any of the high-class atheists, they get angry when confronted with a known question. It has been proven. You can look at videos that aren't of his that he has gotten angry. And yeah, they were atheist videos. He's trying to make people understand something that's based on science and logic. But a lot of science and logic came from numbers. And the only one that invented numbers before man had ever counted anything and knows everything would be a monad. And if you want to deny that, that's fine. If you want to deny it, that's fine. But if you're going to practice something, I don't care what you claim. Many videos I've claimed that I am and will be a Satanist. Why? Because that's how I feel in my heart. But I changed and this is where people get me wrong. I believe in a Buddhism concept of meditation, giving back to society, taking what I can take to survive, what I need to feel comfortable, like coffee. You don't need it to survive. I take a little bit of luxury to survive. And I know people nowadays that don't really know how, don't really get the right work. They need a job. Maybe call it procrastination, maybe call it lazy, maybe call they mismanage money. I'm helping these people. They need to get a concept where they want more, but yet give back to the people that's trying to help them. They want to give back a little, give back a little, let them work. What you take is what you owe. If I take money from someone, and I'm not talking borrowing, and I take it, and I feel in my heart that I need to do more for that person than what they gave me. Say you do 5 times more for a person because they gave you 2 times more than what you gave them, or what they gave. You give them 10 times more than what you took from them. You give them 10 times more than what you took from them. If you say you take $5 from somebody, you pay them back $10. That's twice of what you took from them. Say you tip somebody, like you go out to a restaurant, you eat, you leave them a 20% tip. And if you really want to get technical about it, you leave them a 30% tip of what you paid for the food. It's called decency. A lot of people don't like to do it. I don't go out to eat if I can't tip. If I eat, say, a $20 meal, and say maybe a $3 or $4 drink, I'll tip that person maybe $5 or $6 on the table because it's the right thing to do. If I offer somebody to come in my home, take a shower, sleep, I'll make sure that when they leave, they feel comfortable enough to come back. That's how I am. I had a guy staying here. He stayed here last night. I had not wanted him to say this, but he said I was like family to him. I'm not like family to him. I'm just a person. I'm not his uncle or his brother or his sister or whatever. I'm not family to him. I want him to understand that even though I'm trying to help, I'm still just me. I'm just myself. My simple philosophy is I have no titles or doctrines. I'm just simply myself. I live day by day like everybody else. I have never lived on the streets, but I've been on the streets. I stayed in a motel. I've been in jails, and he's been in jails and prisons. I come with these people not because I sympathize. No sympathy. I understand where they're coming from. I talk to neighbors. I listen. The key to anything, with any relationship, is to listen to what the people are saying. Understand them. Don't give a reply. Just understand. And then if you can help them, say, I don't care if it's a pack of cigarettes. I don't care if it's advice, and they're coming to me for it. And I feel like it's the wrong advice that I might give. I say, this is the thing that I would do, but it's going to fit your lifestyle. I've had trouble in the past with people. I'm not trying to please people. I'm trying to get back more to society than taking from society. Because an exercise of the mind, whether you talk to a person about your beliefs, or you talk to a person and you listen to them, and you don't say nothing. And you don't have to agree. You don't have to say that's right. You listen to where they're coming from. You put yourself in their place, but you can understand them. You're not going to be walking in their shoes. You understand. It's called being an empath. You understand people. I'm at the point where I don't sympathize. I don't feel sorry for people. I feel they can do better for themselves. It's themselves that have to work on. I can't work on these people. In the past, I've tried. They got to help themselves. You can help a person and you can enable a person. There's a difference. You don't want to be an enabler. You want to give back what you can give back. But there's a time when you have to give to yourself. You have to help yourself. And if they're not willing to try to help themselves, then they'll never get the whole story of why it was done in the first place. And then, once I'm gone, it's forgotten. It's not remembered. The Facebook page, all the videos, even though they may get a lot of views, or they may not, it's forgotten. So whatever we do in life, any other people in history that are remembered, I'm a nobody. I won't be remembered, only but from a select few that get the message because they listened. And yeah, I may be a goofy old man. And maybe sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. But this Manad, Emmanuel, Jesus, Yeshua, Jehovah, Yahweh, Sophia, Gala, Hecatech, they're all names. All you have to do is study them. You don't have to go on my word. There's so many interpretations, so many different things. But you start reading the Bible, you start reading the Satanic Bible, you start reading astrology, then you'll see where all these things put into play. I even had a thing where I thought it could be extraterrestrials. And it could be. It could be aliens. It could be extraterrestrials. That's a possibility. And I believe there are more intelligent beings out there migrating than just mankind. It could be animals. It could be plant life. It could be all life. Because the teaching is that we teach each other. We give to each other more than we take from each other. Because when we start taking and not giving back, like a rich man, then we're poor in spirit. When we teach people these things don't exist, we're better in ourselves. And we're not giving back to society anything. We're telling lies. I don't want to be a liar and say it's imaginary. It could very well be. I don't want to be telling the truth and say I believe in these things, because I do. And I think it's about time other people start understanding. Luciferian Buddhism is way different than atheism. Even though they say they're Luciferian Buddhists. I've seen a lot of pages where it's atheist. And that's not it. You're not going on what Buddha or Luciferianism is even all about. Because I've been in Luciferian groups. I've been in Buddhist groups. And a lot of the pages and web pages are saying a lot of different things that it isn't. I got it posted on my personal wall. What we believe in and what we talk to and what Gnostic. And to say it's paganism is wrong. To say dark paganism is a lot higher belief system than that. It's believing in yourself. And I said in many videos, you have to believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, you're going to let yourself down. But you got to give back 10 times more than what you take. And that's even going out to a restaurant, tipping the waiter, or just paying the bill. You pay what you owe, and sometimes you give them more. And you can't do that. Yeah, pretty shitty.